Hi guys, Jess FPL here. Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'll be talking to you guys my UCL fantasy team. Now, the Premier League fixtures did get postponed this week, so I just thought having more content outside of FPL, and I'm going to talk you guys through my UCL fantasy team. And this is the first proper year I went into a lot of detail into UCL fantasy, did my research, and I did quite well in matchday 1. So in matchday 1, I scored 101 points, which for me I would take that, and it placed me around rank of 100k, so around the 100k mark. And I decided to make this video is because the matchday 2 is very exciting, and with no FPL 2 looking forward to, I thought why not make a UCL fantasy video. And in the matchday 1, my tactic was to just have 1 week punts and just take players that had great fixtures in that specific week, and I picked players. So this is my team, and my strategy in my chips are to play the Limitless in game week 2 and then to play the wildcard in game week 3, because of course in matchday 3 and matchday 4 the fixtures will be the same for every team, so because that's how the Champions League works. So my Limitless team, I did make a draft, but it's not conform. I just made a team for the sake of the video, and I'm going to talk you guys through every player and why I picked the player I picked. And I'm not an expert in this game, of course. I just started playing it, but I'm quite decent at it, and I could say have some, I still can play the game, but I'm not an expert. I don't consider myself as a great player. Of course, I just started and it's my first year playing it. So without further ado, let's go into my team for matchday 2. So matchday 2, this is the team I decided to build, my Limitless team. And let's start off with Benzema. So I went Benzema up front is because there is a lot of options up front. I'm just going to show you guys going to the transfer screen. There's a lot of options up front, and remember guys, budget I don't really care about the budget, because just picking the best players, because of course it's a Limitless chip and it's technically a free hit in FPL, but you get ultimate unlimited budget. So now I was thinking of going Erling Haaland and even Lewandowski, but I thought Benzema, Red Bull Leipzig, they did lose in matchday 1. They did lose 4-1 to Shakai, so it's quite a poor result from them, and of course I think they will come back. They will get results, but now they are playing a really strong Real Madrid side, which I don't see them getting anything out, and I think Benzema could be the main man in the Real Madrid team against this team. So Haaland, he has great fixtures. He has a great fixture against Dortmund, but of course Dortmund did win their first game, and I think it will be a relatively close game. Of course, for me, I still think City will win. And then next we have Mbappe and Neymar. Now a lot of people might say a lot of people could just go with a front three of Mbappe, Neymar and Messi, and I was considering that, but looking into much detail, I thought just spreading that PSG spot was better, because PSG are playing Maccabi Haifa, which for me I think they will have a great chance of getting a clean sheet. So that's why I went for 2 up front with Mbappe and Neymar, because I think they are the better 2 compared to Messi. I still think Messi is a great option, but for me I prefer Mbappe and Neymar. And then Hakimi in defense. Now he did quite well in matchday 1. He got an assist and 3 balls recovered. So now currently PSG are playing a wing-back system. They're playing a 3-4-3, I believe, and with Hakimi and Nandu Mendes, which playing those fullbacks role, I could go for one of them as well. So Nandu Mendes, again, I really like the shot of him, and if I could go for 4 or 5 PSG players, I would go for him. He also played the fullback role, but he didn't get anything in the first game. Hakimi's stats just look great, and I just prefer Hakimi to Nandu Mendes. And then we have Vinicius Jr. in midfield. Now against Red Bull Leipzig, as I said, they had a poor start to the Champions League campaign, and I fully expect Real Madrid to win this game as well. They've beaten Celtic, and I just expect them to win. I expect Benzema and Vinicius to start. I just don't see any rotation coming in for these 2 players. Vinicius, again, in matchday 1, he picked up a goal, and he was also quite good, so he is playing quite well. And for me, I think Vinicius will be involved in goals if Real Madrid score goals. I feel it's going to be a high scoring game. Xhaka did leaked Red Bull Leipzig's defense. They punished them because it shows that Red Bull Leipzig, they had a really strong defense. So certainly some goals in this game, and I could see Vinicius and Benzema getting something. And next we have Zielinski. Now this is one I didn't think I would go for in match day 1, because he did get 2 goals and 1 assist in match day 1 against Liverpool and play of the match performance in that game. And now if he can score against Liverpool, I just expect him to score against Rangers. That's my logic. Liverpool, a stronger team, a more organized team, and Rangers, and it's going to be a tough game, because especially when you're playing Rangers at home, it's not the ideal situation. Rangers at home will be a tough match, and it will be tough for Napoli to break them down. But I think if Napoli wants to top the group and wants to advance through the next round, they will have to win games like this, and I think Zielinski could be a brilliant option around his price point, 7 mil. So I think he will keep up the performance, and hopefully he does, and that's why I have him in my team. Now you could just let me know in the comments why he might not be the best option, but for me, I think he will do well in this game against Rangers, and if he doesn't, I could just sub him out, as in this game you could change your players mid-week. And then we have Mohamed Salah. Now I decided to go with 2 Liverpool players, Trent and Salla. Although Liverpool aren't playing the greatest currently, they do have Ajax at home, and Ajax, they did have a slow start to in their Champions League campaign. They aren't the team like last year where they are a tough team to beat. They did sell their whole team, but they still managed to win against Rangers 4-0. Now I won't say this is going to be an easy game for Ajax, but I certainly expect Liverpool to get something out of this. If you won't want to see Liverpool losing their first 2 games in the Champions League, it won't be the ideal situation for Jurgen Klopp, and I think that will not happen, especially at home at Anfield. Anything can happen at home. Anfield is a very hard home ground to play at, and I think Salah and Trent, I think Liverpool will do well in this fixture. Hopefully they do well, as I'm backing them with 2 of my players, and if they don't, again I could sub them out, because they are playing on the 14th of September, and I have players on my bench who's playing on the other days as well. So then next, let's talk you guys through my defense. I do have Kostic. Now this is a cheeky differential. Now I didn't watch any of the Champions League games. I did catch up on the highlights, and for me, again, Juventus, they are playing a wingback system, and Kostic, I did look at his stats into FBref. He did have some really good underlying data. Now I won't say Benfica are the easiest team to beat. I still think Benfica are a strong team, but still, Juventus at home, I could expect a clean sheet against Benfica. Of course, Benfica are a strong team, but Filip Kostic is playing that wing-back spot, and I just think he will do well this week. And I decided to go for one differential, a Juventus player, because they are playing Benfica, and I really want to target that fixture as well. So Kostic is in my team now. I could take him out later on during the week if I have other players that I really like the look of, but currently he sits in my team, and I think he will do well this week. And then we have Dumfries. Now Inter, they do have a great fixture against Pleasant, and I think if they want to advance to the next round, they will have to win games like these against on paper the weakest team in their group, and they did lose to Bayern in the first game, and they would want to come back stronger for the second game. I don't see them losing 2 games in a row. That would be very unfortunate. So Inter, I do have a lot of faith in Inter, but I just think if I were to target their players, I would go for Lautaro Martinez, as if you look into their midfield, there is not much options in their midfield for Inter Milan if I can find them. So here you have Bronzovic. Okay, he's decent, but you mainly want those ball recovers. And Mkhitaryan, he did play 90 minutes, but again, he's not a goal threat. And then Calhanoglu, he is more attacking, but look, he didn't get any points in the first game, so I just don't really like the looks of their midfielders. So for me currently now, I just have Dumfries, and it was between Dumfries and I need to find another fullback. So it was between Dumfries and Gosson. They both played fullbacks, and Dumfries just had the way better stats, so I will be going for Dumfries. I did look at Bastoni, but still you are aiming for those ball recoverers, and I think if I were to back Inter to get the clean sheet, I would go for the fullback, as he's more attacking, and of course fullbacks offer great value in this game. And then lastly, João Cancelo. Look, I made a big mistake for not going for him in the first week. 9 balls recovered, there's just 3 points, 2 assists, 1 clean sheet, and 90 minutes played. City, they are looking at the favourites, and I just can't wait for matchday 3 just to jump on their players for this Copenhagen game. So currently, I'm only have 2 City players, which is Kevin De Bruyne and João Cancelo. I could go for Erling Haaland, but I just said there's so many great forwards in this game, and I just think Benzema, Mbappe, and Neymar is the best front three for this game, match day, and I think Haaland could do well, but I just hopefully De Bruyne can cover up. He also had a really great match day 1 performance, picking the player of the match, 1 assist, and 1 clean sheet point. So certainly with the Premier League postponed, I just see no rotation in that City side. I just think Kevin De Bruyne is as nailed. He will be nailed on. Same as João Cancelo. If there was the Premier League on the weekends, I could say, there is a slight chance of Cancelo getting rotated. But currently, there is no Premier League on the weekends, and the game got postponed. So it's more than likely that these two will start, and I think they will get the clean sheet against Dortmund. Is at home. As much as I think Dortmund is a strong team, I just think Man City are a way better team, and certainly back them to do well in this game. And then on my bench, I do have Thibaut Courtois. Now, if let's say Onana doesn't get the clean sheet, he does play on, let's show you the date, he does play on the 14th of September. And if he doesn't, do well, I could sub them Courtois on the second day. And same to the players on my bench. I have Zielinski, Salla, Dumfries, and Alexander Trent playing on the 14th, and as well as Onana. But if they don't do well, I have 4 players on my bench to come on for them. Of course, Courtois can change to Onana, and I just expect a return from one of these, at least a return. And if not, I could bring these players on. So this is how my team currently looks. I did go for Onana because I feel he is the first choice keeper for Inter. As much as I think Handanovic has a chance of starting, I just looked at who played in the first game. And now, if you are an Inter fan, let me know if you think Onana will start this game. But I just back him to start this game against Pleasant, and I just hopefully they can get the clean sheet. And if not, I have Courtois on my bench. And then I do have Mahalia Mudrak, and this guy was linked to Arsenal, I believe, during the transfer window, and he was heavily linked with a lot of clubs because he did have a really good season last year, and I think he will do well. Again, he is playing like a winger, and I did catch up on the highlights. He was very lively in the game, 1 goal and 2 assists. So Celtic, of course, not the easiest team to play, but certainly a punt to go for another differential. And let's say if I don't have to bring him on, I would keep him on my bench. But if I were to, worst case scenario, bring him on, I would certainly expect something big from him. So yeah. So guys, this is my team. I won't go into much detail as I do in Fantasy Premier League. This is my team for match day 2. And if there will be updates on my Twitter account, go follow me there on Twitter, JSFPL, JS_FPL, and I will be updating everything about my UCL fantasy points and FPL there. I apologize for not uploading last week. I did had some problems and had things to do elsewhere, so I'm back, and it's very unfortunate that the Premier League was postponed, but of course we have to pay respect, and these things will happen. But of course, the chance of the game being postponed, you can't tell when someone will die, and I really understand. But just something different than my normal FPL content. And if you do like this video, please make sure to like and subscribe, and let me know if you enjoy these kind of content, talking things outside of FPL. So it's been me, just FPL, and I will catch you guys later on this week. I will try to post, and if there was rumors that game week 8 would be postponed, but if it will go on, I will make my regular buy, hold, sell, avoid videos and my team selection, And yeah, so it's been me, Jess FPL, and I'll see you guys in the next one.